Hi, checking connection, checking connection. And we are live here, BYW Dreams, live here on Instagram and preparing a live stream on YouTube and Facebook. Hi, I'm Natascha. And there
I'm
is
Allegra.
Allegra, who I cannot hear at the moment, but she'll be on to join us in just a moment. She's waved. She's joining us on live on Instagram right here. And hopefully any second live on YouTube and Facebook. Hi, welcome to Natascha and Allegra, BYWD, or Beyond Your Wildest Dreams. We are together committed to making sure that you learn how to prioritize yourself, also helping you find a way to save time and achieve your goals as well.
Yes.
Zoom is lagging as far as the Facebook and YouTube, but
Okay.
it says it's unable to stream the live custom service. So live stream the custom service. I don't know what's going on with that, but we're right here live on Instagram, and I'll try to troubleshoot that as we chat here. So
Right. And this will also be uploaded to our podcast. We decided to upload our chats there. And so we had a little bit of an issue with last week's podcast, but you can always watch the full chat on YouTube. Is probably the easiest place to find it because
if it
they're
goes
just
up right now, we'll see.
yeah, they're under our
Yeah,
lab.
and then also, of course, if you find us in any place you listen to podcasts, BYW Dreams.
Yes.
You can just search for us there, BYW Dreams. Again, that stands for Beyond Your Wildest Dreams, because we really want you to be able to live a life beyond your wildest dreams. And that doesn't necessarily mean like outlandish. It could mean that. It could mean that. But, would that be, to me, sometimes a wild dream is like really just being able to live a life where, I get to really do more of the things I really want to do. Right. So like, this whole it always comes to mind, the prioritizing oneself. Like that has been a
Yes.
continual journey, right? I'm so much better at it now than I was when we started this journey together. Allegra's taught me a lot, her example. But recognizing that it's not a luxury. So beyond your wildest dreams, may sound crazy or lofty, but we're not talking about unattainable stuff.
No, not at all. And I think the other thing too is that people, if you have not been prioritizing yourself, then you're kind of going through life feeling a little bit depleted. I mean, we all have all these devices, right? And we know that when they get down to 5% battery, they start acting funky. They're slower, they're quirky. And the thing is that a lot of us are walking around without getting enough sleep, without getting enough movement, and it makes us all like that, like the 5% battery. So all we're helping you do is to charge your battery to put it
Right.
in
So that you have more for yourself, right? Because then often, you hear a lot about, and this is true, but you hear a lot about like self-care and putting the oxygen mask on first, which we say all the time, because then you're no good to help anyone else. But really, honestly, first and foremost, it is about putting it on yourself. It's not just, oh, I better take care of myself in order to take care of others. Sure. But first and foremost, take care of yourself.
take care of yourself.
Not just in order to take care of others, which
Yes.
is, if you're in a position where that is part of your responsibility, of course, yes, 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 right? But legit, like take care of yourself. And that is, even if the sentence just stopped there, but just
Right.
stop at take care of yourself, period, full stop. That is a complete sentence, and that is a worthy sentence. That is enough, and then if you have others that rely on your responsibility, great, awesome. But don't just take care of yourself to take care of others. If that might be your motivating factor, great. But you know what? The thing that's lately been my motivating factor is creeping up on that milestone birthday that's coming. And I'm just like, hey, I want this vehicle to be functioning as optimally as it possibly can at these later stages, right? I'm not,
Yes.
yeah. So that's the thing that's really motivating me lately. And you said sleep, you mentioned sleep. My sleep has been way, way, way off. Had a holiday party this weekend, and it's still like there's still a bunch of like not so healthy foods around the house and stuff like that. And I've kind of like what's today, Thursday? Like, I'm just like, okay, you need to just stop this little habit of like, oh, there's just some holiday cookies here. Maybe I'll just grab a few holiday cookies. Right. And I'm like, these little habits, like I still haven't really totally recovered my sleep. And I have not gotten my back into my full morning ritual. Just because the way life has worked out the last couple of days, I haven't taken my dog for the long walk that we take in the morning, and I'm feeling it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling it not just physically, but mentally, like that morning walk is like a great way to clear my head. And I just listened to the Mel Robbins podcast about gut health. And the doctor that she had on was like, she said she has like 4 F's that you should do to help reset your gut health. And one of them is, fitness, or she just says, you take a walk in the morning. Like one of the things you can do is just, it doesn't have to be rigorous fitness, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I've been missing that. I've been missing it. It's been like probably 5 days since I've taken like a good long walk in the morning. I've taken them off for like quick little, okay, you gotta go pee, let's go, kind of things.
Yeah.
But not the full walk that we normally do. And it's definitely
effective. And it makes a huge difference actually, because, when I was leanest in my life, I got there accidentally. I was not any grand plan. It was just that I had a dog who needed 2 walks a day. My husband did one, I did the other. And after years of walking her every single day, I looked at some pictures of myself and I was like, wow, how did I get this lean? Like, I haven't done anything.
You weren't like working a program.
I wasn't working a program, which, I like to do. Like, I enjoy external motivators, like, let's do 12 weeks. I love that stuff. However, what we've talked on this chat before about the book Outlive by Peter Attia, big fan. By the way, any of our recommendations you can find at tinyurl.com/shop BYW dreams or shop BYWD. It's probably in our link in our bio. Anyway, my anthropology degree, which was when I got my anthropology degree, one thing that stuck with me is that the only thing humans are designed to do repetitively is walk, because
right.
Hunter gathering and being nomadic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that combined with the Outlive book, the only other thing that our bodies are designed to do is carry heavy weights, again, because of the hunter gathering and the nomadic. And because we were designed to do these things, our bodies need these things. And so I got, around the same time, I got this Fitbit, and I was amazed at how much fat burning I do when I walk my dog. I never knew that until I got this, and it monitors your heart constantly. And I was like, oh, that's when I put the 2 and 2 together. I was like, that's why I was so lean after walking our then dog, Chloe. And, when we adopted our current fur baby, there was an understanding that mommy was not going to be the lead caretaker of our fur baby because mommy's got enough on her plate. And so my family really stepped up. But guess what? I walk her. We do a big hike every Thursday, and then we do regular hikes, but I don't walk her every day. So about 4 months ago, when I got the Fitbit, I started doing it, and I have noticed a huge difference, specifically in belly fat. So
awesome. Yeah. And so, by the way, folks, the next time your personal trainer tells you to do 25 burpees and stuff, you can just let them know that the human body was designed to just like walk.
But you have to do it like
I want to do these burpees. My body was designed to walk stuff. So if you want me to carry your backpack, that's cool. And
it's not a long walk. I walk her in less than 26 minutes, but you do have to walk kind of like you're late for an appointment in order to get into the fat burning range. And then maybe add some weights. I now do it. I vary my weights from 10 to 30 pounds because, again, your body gets used to whatever you do. So I kind of do some variability.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely notice a difference just in my general strength. So.
Yeah, it's awesome. Walking. Yeah. And I'm
walking and carrying heavy things.
Getting back onto the walking tip. The rest of my day is so crazy busy that I'm just thinking about when can I fit in, a 1.5 mile walk today, but I'm not sure if it's going to happen today, but tomorrow morning get back on it.
And a mile and a half, I know it sounds like a long distance, but really it's less than 30 minutes if you're walking fast.
Yep.
Like my husband's always like, but can we fit in? And I'm like, I see my Fitbit every day. I'm under 26 minutes every single time. We can totally fit this in.
Yeah. I do a path that takes me up a hill and around and blah, blah, blah. I can't walk like I'm late for an appointment the whole time because my dog does like to sniff and and I do have to recognize like the walk is for him.
Yes,
too.
yes.
You know, my husband's always like, he sniffs too much. We're not getting enough exercise. And I was like, well, he does. It does help his mental state.
Yes, it's so important. And Lulu gets her sniffing in, like, and I still get, you know, maybe I only get 76% fat burning, depending. But the funny thing about Lulu is that she likes to also walk fast. So like if I get a little jog, then she's like, oh, okay, we're running. So, you know, I
have a really big dog and he's not a running dog. Like he'll run, but he's not like, he's
a loper.
Yeah. He lopes and he's kind of like, so we did that for like a good 60 seconds. We're done now, right?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, we've taken that dog on like like we used to do, well, not used to, but we've done 5Ks with him. And he's like good for like half of it. And the other second half, he's like, guys, come on. Like the first half, he's like in front, like pulling you. And then half, he's like, beside you. And the end, he's like behind you. He's like, dude.
You have to bring the sled for him.
Yeah, he's not into it.
By the way, if you're watching us, at least on Instagram, you can always comment and we will respond to it. I don't know if we see it on YouTube or whatever. But we like to talk, we like to just chit chat about what's going on in our lives. And of course, right now is the holidays. If you haven't seen our bouquet of books, our most recent book is called Rock Your Holidays. It's all about we like to say that planning makes everything easier, and it's true definitely during the holidays. Planning makes everything easier. And so one thing I wanted to chat about, which is that I do send out holiday cards, and the way that I do holiday cards so that it's fun for me is that I just do a handful a day, 3 to 6 cards I write a day, and I just put them out in the mail. That way I don't feel overwhelmed by, oh my gosh, I need to send out 60 or 70 or 80 cards. It takes 2 weeks. People don't care if they get it before a certain date.
Yeah. If you get it, if you get it on the 24th, as opposed to like the 10th of December, like it's.
Yeah. If you get it on the 1st of January, who cares?
Totally. Yep. Yeah. And I have friends who definitely put out New Year's cards. Like they'd rather, they don't have to stress about getting it done before the holidays, but also maybe they don't celebrate, a specific religious, celebration, and they,
New Year's card. Yeah.
New Year's cards are great.
Yes.
They're also great for in a professional, because everybody celebrates New Year's. So like, if you're sending professional contacts and stuff, New Year's is always a great way to kind of still have that holiday presence, but not be denominational about it.
Well, and my mom will sometimes do Lunar New Year cards because that's in keeping with one of our, ethnicities. Well, at least one of my ethnicities. It's her main ethnicity, but I've got multiple to choose from. Nice. And so she'll do the Lunar New Year card. So you could do that, depending on what you practice. It doesn't even have to be tied to anything. It could just be like, here's our update card. But I do holiday cards, and this year it was fun because all of my family was together for Thanksgiving. So we were able to take a family portrait, family pictures, or whatever. So that was nice. I have pictures with, all my siblings and my niece and nephew and my grandma. And so that was nice to do because
that's so fun. That's lovely.
Yeah. Yes. Grandma's going to be 100 soon. So we never.
Oh my goodness. That's
I know.
Thing. So you do have the longevity genes, girl.
Yes. 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 So that's why, as he says in Outlive, you need to work in your 50s if you want to be solo living in your 80s, right? If you want to do your own grocery shopping and your own cooking and still be driving, then you need to prepare for that. And it was interesting because we recently we had visitors in town, and they wanted to go to amusement park because they've never been. And so we went, and I was noticing that I was handling we tried to do one backpack for our family, you know, with like clothes and water and snacks and whatever. And I was carrying it more than my hubby was carrying it. And he was saying that it was bothering his back. I was like, I think you need to be walking with more weight, sounds like, because you're a foot taller than me. So
those tricky backs, you know, but yeah.
Yeah.
We had a holiday party this past weekend, and I am really looking forward to setting aside like maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes or so. I still have my notes from, if you were with us last week, I talked about how I have an ongoing, or just a list that I keep on my computer, so that I printed out a couple weeks before the party, just to, and it is like a to-do list and a like to buy list and a to make list.
Yes.
And I'm excited this year to take under the to buy, which I usually do is print it out and then just kind of write a letter next to which grocery store I get it, because not everything's at Costco, not everything's at Trader Joe's, not everything's at Ralph's. It's a combination, right? So I put a R, a C, or T next to it. But this year I was like, why don't I just separate these into a Costco list?
Oh, nice.
Put it in those categories. So under the to buy column, I'm going to separate those, because I'm just kind of like, that's dumb that you do this every year. You know where you get these things from. Just consolidate, right?
It's not dumb. It's just you're fine tuning. You're just fine tuning.
Fine tuning. Yeah. So like, exactly. Thank you. It's not, yes. So like, that's that to now it seems obvious. Like, why wouldn't you have done it that way from the start? That's not something that's occurred to you. That's my little gift to you. If you have an ongoing thing that you do annually and you get your stuff from different places,
break it up.
Some stuff is like, ordered on Amazon. And I had a thing happen where I got, I wanted to get like recyclable, compostable hot cups for like the hot cocoa and the coffee, right? So I found those on Amazon at a reasonable price, and it said it was going to arrive before the party. I checked in on the order like 2 days after I ordered it, and it was going to arrive after the party, right? So I canceled that order. So there's something to think about, like, if you want to do that, either order them now, Natascha,
right?
Or make sure you order it several weeks out. Or so what happened this time though, even though I had this list and I looked, I checked stuff off and I, planned ahead, come Sunday morning, the day of the party, I woke up and I'm like, I forgot to get the hot cups, because in my mind I had ordered them, right? Because
right.
I did them on my list, because it's like, boom, got the cups, right? They're coming. But I realized when I woke up Sunday morning, I'm like, the cups, so I'm running to the store Sunday morning, which is, like, I thought this year, I was like, this is going to be the year where I don't run to the store the day of the party.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
Still didn't happen, but that's okay. And I have to say, overall though, and even my whole family noticed, just that there was pre-party Natascha is not a pleasant person. Even though we're planning,
what? She says that.
No, but you're not. No,
if I know I'm not your. I know I don't live with you, but I feel like
ask the people who live with me.
I've been there. I've been the first person at this party and helped you with things, and you are totally normal human.
I already got the worst of it. It's like, I got that Partyzilla out of my system before you showed up. Anyway, but an hour before the party this time, I was like, hey honey, did you notice something? And he's like, yeah, I noticed that you're not being a total. I was like, yes. I mean, he was joking around, but he was, he knew what I was
joking, not joking.
Joking, not joking. A little bit of truth in there, and I was like, yes, like, I was happy that he noticed, right? Because I noticed too. I was like, this is all in flow. And I have to say
that's so awesome.
The biggest components, of course, is the planning and the going ahead and the post-morteming, which like I said, I'm going to do in the next day or so. And they're just going to set me up for, and I highly recommend, this is like a course correct, y'all. We always talk about the monthly course correct, and coming up is going to be our annual yearly review. And in the past I've said, okay, I'm going to do a post-mortem. And then that list is just kind of like gotten pushed off somewhere and blah, blah, blah. And then like a month or two from now, I find it somewhere in a pile of something, and it's too late then. I mean, I might remember a couple things, but it's not fresh.
It's not fresh. Yeah.
It's so helpful honestly
Yes.
helpful to do it right after, because I have now found also the perfect sangria recipe. I've been experimenting.
Yeah.
Last year was
Yeah.
right. So this year, lots of compliments on it. I was like, all right, this is the key.
Yeah. Write it
I
down.
still had some left over. My husband had some last night. He's like, this is really good. I was like,
There
okay,
you
that
go.
one. So that recipe becomes part of the list, right? I just
Yes.
part of the document, so I don't have to like fish
All
around for it
together.
on the
Yeah.
online. Blah blah blah. The other half of being more prepared and using lists and using a postmortem is that I really got much better at getting buy-in this time from the now my kids are
Mm.
older. So when I was throwing this party when they were like, 8 and 6, the most they would do is like, I was like, make a sign. And they would be like, you're a greeter, you know what I mean? Like, so there was this, I've got 13 and 10-year-old now.
Right.
And so getting that buy-in, like having my sons, you know, help out and being able to not just help out, because we really like to talk about like we're a team, right? It's not that you're helping me, but you're
Right.
a team and you're making a contribution.
Yes, their contribution.
And
That's the word we use, by the way, contribution. Your contributions to the household.
Right, exactly. I stole that from you. Um, and I went to the store that morning on Sunday, and yes, it's a little mental work, but I left a list of like, here's what I'd love to have happen while I'm gone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I really put it that way too. I'm like, I'd love to have this happen, because it also helps me set my expectations, because I'll have an expectation of like it being done, right? As
Right.
opposed to like, this would be great if this happened. I get that not everything on this list might, because some of it was wishful. I was like, oh, maybe, who knows? Like, I didn't plan on being gone too long, right? Anyway, I came back, everything on the list had been done. And
for those people listening to the podcast, I'm doing my wow face.
Yeah,
like whoa.
Everything had been done.
Uh-huh.
The night before my sons and I got back from another holiday party at a friend's house, I had just enrolled them in like, hey, listen, if we do a couple of things right now tonight, it's just going to help us for tomorrow, and it's not going to be so cray cray, And so my oldest son especially is just like, okay, mom, what do you need me to do? And we had such a busy day on Saturday before the party that on Friday, I just kept saying, hey guys, let's just think about it like the party is tomorrow, even though it's, today is Friday and the party is Sunday. It's such a busy day on Saturday. We basically have to pretend like Saturday doesn't exist, right? So we did, and I did, of course I did the majority of the bulk of the stuff on my own on Friday, but there was so much buy-in. I just want to say there was so much cooperation. There was so much that it afforded me the ability to not be the normal partyzilla that I can be before.
That's awesome. I love it.
Like, and a lot of acknowledgement too for my kiddos and for my husband, and just saying that, like, like, I asked my son too, I'm like, did you notice how I was before the party? He's like, yeah, mom, you were great. Like, it's totally different than last year and the year before. And I was like, well, I want to just say part of that is because you really contributed, dude. Like, you really stepped up. I could, again, it's part of his age too, where I could say, hey, do such and such, and I can leave the room and I don't have to monitor, and manage.
Right.
Leave the room and come back and know that it's going to be done. Again, maybe not the way I would do it, but it's going to be mostly done. Right. Yeah. So that kind of thing has made all the difference. So I highly recommend that your children get older, and then
if you're age them up. No, but you have to prepare them, right? Like, you're laying the foundation each year
for
them to get more and more capable.
Totally. Yes. And I just said, and I can't say enough about having lists and having a plan and having a postmortem, if it's something that you recreate every year, if it's the Thanksgiving dinner, if it's a holiday meal, if it's whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just jot down some notes for yourself. You will be just so much happier than having to retain all that for a year. And also, what I did this year too is I just did a quick video of like the setup, so that I don't have to reinvent the wheel too, because it's a hot chocolate party, right? So we always have like the same things like whipped cream and marshmallows and blah, blah, blah. And I just did a quick video of like how I set everything up this year, which is very similar to the year before. But I know that there are things that I've thought of in the past that I was like, oh, that's clever. And then the next year I'm like, oh, I don't remember how I did that,
Right.
So I just did a quick little video, and I'm just going to like save it in a folder or something, so I can take a quick look at like, oh, this is how I did it this year. I've done the same thing too with our light setup, because it's always like, where do we plug this in? Which power strip we use this one? So I've gone ahead and put in a little note in my phone, like taking pictures of like, this is the extension cords we use for these bushes. This is the thing we use for this. This is the stuff we use for that. Just so that again, you don't have to be like, does this one go here? And where do we plug this in? You know, and
Well, and I label the things themselves when possible, right? Like, so we have this garland, this lit garland. And so I have it labeled east side, west side. This is the side that plugs into this socket. So it's labeled. I just take a piece of painter's tape, fold it over, and write in a colorful permanent marker on the edge of the painter's tape. So that's where it is.
Time.
Yeah.
Energy, frustration. Yeah.
I also do that for like, I have some plugs I have to change around. Like when we're using different, like our security system versus like the printers versus whatever. Sometimes I have something that's short term that I just need to plug in an area. So every single one of our plugs is labeled with what that thing is.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have those power strips where there's a master outlet, and then there's the outlets that are turned on by the master outlet. So it'll say like, if one of them is a master outlet plug, then I'll put master on it. So I know, okay, this one goes in here. So
yeah. Yes, I have all of my cords labeled behind, you know, behind all of our electronics and stuff too, because what are you going to do? Like every time you're going to like follow it back to the item stuff. I saw this on Instagram or somewhere where I used like the little, the plastic bread.
Oh yeah, the twisties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they fit right over your plugs and just, you know, but like I think the painter's tape is better because those have fallen off.
Right. And they get brittle.
Oh, idea. And I had all these little tags on them and I was like, oh, to reuse, right? You know, but after sitting back there for years or whatever, like they have fallen off. Some of them, you know, some of them stay on for sure. Yeah, because I know where all the lights go, it's just always the configuration of the cords and the strips that we use. That is always like, which do we plug into what? Is this one long enough? Blah, 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 that kind of stuff, you know? So we don't label the cord itself. So just take pictures and leave it in a little note phone. Yeah. And, you know, and so I encourage you to take the time this year before you take down all your decorations to take a few snapshots, or do what Allegra did, which is just label them directly onto the garland or the whatever it is, that whatever you're using, you know, the cords and the lights and so forth. Yeah, because it gets tricky. It's frustrating.
Yeah, once you figured out something, exactly, that's it. Like once you figured out how it works, don't reinvent the wheel. Just make yourself a note. And you know, this was a tip that I learned from a professional organizer. This is why I use the painter's tape, and I put it at the very end of the outlet, right? So the part that you're going to plug in, right. You know, the thing I learned from her was store it where you use it. Mm-hmm. And so, like for instance, my coffee spoon is literally stored in the coffee canister, the little scooper. And so that, to me, that was the same idea with the painter's tape. It's like, I need to know what this plug is for, rather than tracing it all the way back to which device it belongs to, right? I just need to know which one it is. And I actually do the same thing, not with painter's tape, but like, you know, I have a hub for my laptop. And so I plug in my mic, my camera, all these peripherals right into the hub. And I write in acrylic paint pen, M for mouse, C for camera, just on the very edge of the USB plug-in, because sometimes one of them is like a little bit loose, and I'm like, my camera's not working. Let me check the plug, and I don't have to check them all, right? I know C is camera. So yeah.
Yeah. That makes total sense, right? With that whole hub situation. Yeah. 100%. I'm all about trying to to just minimize that friction, like you said before.
Yes.
Hurdles. And once you've got it figured out, do yourself a favor, take that extra minute or two to label it, because it makes a huge difference next time. I gotta tell you, like, I put up all the lights by myself this year really, really quickly. I mean, and I've been doing this for years with taking the pictures of the layout. We've just added a few new elements this time around. And it's been real. So I have a couple of new pictures to take this season, but it's been really, really easy. Like I just put it all up by myself really quick.
Yeah.
Because I have those little notes. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. I remember how to do that now, you know? And
it makes it so much easier. Planning makes everything easier.
I don't have a solution for when your lights half of them decide to It's not working. That's a pain in the ass to try to find that bulb. And there's no easy way around that one.
Yeah.
So maybe if somebody knows how to fix that situation, please comment on how to store the second half of your string of lights that have decided to blow out.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us. We're here every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. And you can also catch the recordings on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, or now on wherever you get your podcasts. Look for the Beyond Your Wildest Dreams podcast. And hey, if you're looking for a great gift to give, no matter what time of year it is, could be a birthday, check out our books. They are all short reads, less than an hour to go through them, and they're workbooks because we want you to really learn the information. We don't want to just talk at you. We show you how to put it into use immediately.
Right. Get pen to paper and start really utilizing these tips, because it's all about if you're not using it or working it, what's the point? Right? It's all theory. All right. Awesome. So great to see. We'll see you back here again next Thursday, same time, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern, and have a dynamite day.